Science tells us that you can change how you feel just by changing your state or how your posture is. When we stood like Superman or Wonder Woman and closed our eyes and did that, it felt silly for some of you, but when you closed your eyes, most of us probably went to a good place. For a moment there, you felt everything was good. Are you with me? And that's what we do in this thing called life. The thing is, whenever you start wanting to grow or do something incredible, what often follows is something difficult. Are you with me? I remember the first time I said I wanted to start being healthy and start exercising, the first thing that I was encountered with was the difficulty of exercising. How many of us have started exercising for the first time? Was it fun? No. Was it beneficial? No. Not really. It didn't feel that way, right? And this is the thing with life, that very often you find that the most important things, the most beneficial things, whenever you start on that journey, you are always going to be confronted by something difficult. Are you with me? You find that, so the principle is this: disruption always follows intention. Are you with me? I remember when I wanted to propose to my wife, the difficult thing was actually finding the words to say, right? She's there, I need to come up with something smart because she could say no. Are you with me? And if someone has ever said no to you on something you really want, you get what I'm saying. Are you with me? Just the same as some of you want to be doctors, but you have to go through the sorrow of schoolwork, right? The sorrow of exams in order to get to the joy of being a doctor or whatever profession that is. Are you with me? So what I want you to understand is that anything worthwhile is going to be uphill. Are you with me? And that requires you to begin to understand why you are on this journey. And one of the biggest mistakes I started realizing we were making in the people development industry was we start conversations assuming everyone knows what we are talking about. And then we use words and then we leave the room thinking we've done a great job. But what we've managed to do is confuse everyone and leave everyone thinking that I'm smart, but that guy was not useful. Are you with me? Yeah. And I want it to be very clear that success is not something that's set aside for a few people in this world. Are you with me? Success is a destination, it's a journey that is set aside for each and every one of us. The question is, are you willing to take the steps to become part of the excellence? Or are you comfortable being part of the many average people who never get to do what they were supposed to do? It's always going to be a choice. But let me get to the definition first, because I like that you have a word here that I absolutely love. And that is, what's this word? Success. What's the word? Success. What's the word? Success. What does it mean? You can raise your hand. Let me know. What is your definition of success? You can raise your hand. Just say, I heard achieving your goals. Okay? Yes. To do that one thing that you want to do and to do it well. Okay. What else? We just all read success, so I know we can read. But what does it mean? How many of us, by show of hands, want to be successful? Okay, I see it. So you want to be this thing that you can't define. What is it? Yes.
It's an achievement of something.
An achievement of something. But what is your definition of success? Yes, sir.
Success is setting a goal and achieving.
Is setting a goal and achieving. Yes, sir. Okay, can we have answers that are not from the textbook, please? That actually, can I have something that drives you, that when you give this definition to yourself, it makes sense? Finding my purpose, yes. Creating something no one else can. Okay. Let me rephrase my question. How will we know that you have succeeded? How will the streets know that this person has arrived? How are you going to know that I've made the progress I want to make? I've achieved the thing I want to achieve. How will we know? Yes.
I think when you arrive, place it on you. When people know you, even though you don't.
So it's celebrity. Okay, when I arrive in, okay, so it's celebrity. You know you've arrived when more people know you than you know. Okay, that's one way. So that's part of his his definition or expression of success, how will we know? Like if each and every one of us should have that story, right? How are you going to know that you've done it? When you have money. And and what does having money mean? What do you know, guys? One of the things I want you to understand is that you must become very good at defining these things. Yes. It's driving up? What's that? What? It's a what? Or it's a type of car, or is it a nice car? When you drive, what's a nice car? Okay. So it's things. It's things. All right? So it's money. It's money, it's recognition. I don't know what kind of car that is. Can you guys give me an example of a nice car now? If you were driving that car, you would actually say, I've made it. All right, one car. Yes. Is your hand up? No. Yes. A Range Rover. A Range Rover, okay. What else? Hey, if we use these definitions for success, I don't know if we'll ever arrive, eh? Now tell me something. How many of you know people who you think are rich? How many of you think you know people who you think are rich? Do you guys don't know anyone who's rich? It's a good thing I'm here then, eh? Huh? Elon Musk, okay? Who else? Like, do you know? No, like you can see them, you know? Who else? Do you have one? Scott, okay? What makes him rich? No, oh yeah, no. I know he's a politician, but what makes him? There are lots of politicians. Why did you pick that politician? He's got a football club. So in essence, am I getting you correct in saying that to you, success is having things? Is it having things? What is it then? Right? Why are you in school? Don't answer that question. Why are you? How many years? You guys know you guys are going to spend potentially 20 years in school. Had you ever calculated that? And after these 20 years, what is it going to all be for? Is it going to come down to the kind of car you drive? Is it going to come down to the amount of money in your bank account? Because I'm sort of oldish, and I've been fortunate to travel and sort of have conversations with other entrepreneurs, right? And I've had conversations with entrepreneurs that are billionaires. I've had conversations with entrepreneurs that are millionaires. And each time I kept asking them, what is your definition of success, right? That like with all this money, when your name is mentioned, people turn their heads and they come and, they talk to you. Is this success? And I've had split answers. I've had some who are so wealthy, but when you talk to them, you think that they are broke as hell. They are unhappy. Have you guys ever seen someone who's wealthy but unhappy at the same time? Yes. That is the worst place to be. Are you with me? To have money but have no one who likes you. That even the people who you're giving money to are waiting for you to go away. And the moment your money disappears, they leave with you. So tell me, let me ask you something. Would you be comfortable having more money than you can spend, but no one to enjoy it with? Some of you would. Some of you would. Some of you would. So can I give you guys a definition of success that I discovered, that I felt cut across everything and really focused on things that mattered the most? Because one of the things I remember, I had a point where I was saying, if I make $1 million, then I'll be so successful and I'll be so happy. And when it happened, it was like, okay. Then it went, and the thing with money is that you can make it and it can disappear. And if your entire life was hinged on making a bit of money, the moment you make it and it disappears, it makes your life seem worthless. So I realized early on that I needed to have a bigger reason for living. I needed to have a bigger reason for the things that I was doing. It had to be bigger than money, because let me say this, and I hope I don't offend anyone, but if I do, I don't care as well. The thing with us pursuing money sometimes as the main agenda is because we don't come from a lot of money in the beginning. So the thinking we have is that if I can get this thing that was missing when I was growing up, then finally when I'm older, I can be happy and enjoy the life that I thought I was missing when I was younger. So we're not running towards anything. We're actually running away from poverty. Some of the poorest people I've met have a lot of money, but the race they're running is they're running away from their past. Are you with me? Yes. And it's going to be impossible for you to do anything meaningful with your life if your main objective is to not go back to what you are afraid of. Are you with me? We can't let where we come from define us. You can't want to be successful because I grew up broke. Are you with me? Because the thing is, even though we may not have come from a lot of money, and I speak as someone who comes from there, one thing that I valued is I came in as much as money was not in abundance, there were other things that were there that were in abundance. Are you with me? I had parents who actually cared about me, and probably some of you do. I had siblings or friends who would almost go to war for me. You with me? Some of us till now have very good health, which is not something that other people with money can have. And when I started realizing that a lot of us are going to lose in this journey called life because we go through life focusing on what's missing. Are you with me? If you focus on what's missing, you'll always forget or miss what's there. And when you miss what's there, you may actually begin to miss the thing that was supposed to change your life for you. Are you with me? There's this idea that we lack resources in this country. That's the biggest lie ever told. In Zimbabwe, we do not lack resources. We lack awareness of the resources that are around us. I've gone and met Zimbabweans all around the world that are CEOs of multinational organizations. We've got smart people. Are you with me? The unfortunate thing is most of you think that you actually have to leave the country to actually become successful or build something substantial, right? But you can actually build something substantial here, but it has to start with understanding and building the right perspective of what you are doing. The next couple of years just can't be about passing a silly exam by ZIMSEC or Cambridge. It can't be about that. Are you with me? That cannot be your goal. School is not an end. School is always a means to an end. Like my brother shared with you, he teaches economics, but he understands that his ultimate purpose is transformation. So he's taken the book knowledge and asked himself, what area in people's lives needs transformation that my knowledge base can help them get that transformation in? So it wasn't about being the number one student or, yes, get the good grades, but understand that the good grades are not enough. It is not going to make you successful to be the top of your class. I've been there. I was top of my class in university and still was unemployed. You with me? I was the top master student and I still went through a year of unemployment, even with a first-class degree. So why am I telling you? I'm telling you this because if your goal was to get a first-class degree and you've got it, but you're still not making, you have no money in your pocket, have you succeeded? Are you helping anyone? Right? You're giving stress to your parents, you're giving stress to your friends. Because everyone's wondering, what is wrong with Terence? How does he get good grades and still not know what to do? Do you know why that was? Because I didn't understand what my purpose was. I didn't understand that in life it's not about what I get, it's always about what I get to give other people. So what is the definition of success that I want to leave you with? The definition of success is this. If you adopt this definition and take it seriously, I promise you, you'll get success beyond your wildest expectations. If you ignore this, you may still succeed, but you may take a lot longer to succeed. So if you've got a pen, this is the writer downer of writer downers. All right. So success is. Are we ready? Guys, are we ready? Yeah. I'm about to drop wisdom. Are we ready? Yeah. I will. Are we ready? Yeah. Guys, I'm about to transform your life. Are you ready? Yeah. Come on. Yes. So success is is three aspects, right? Number one is discovering your purpose. It's discovering your purpose. All right? If you're done, say I. Excellent. Now the question becomes, what does purpose mean, right? Because sometimes I want to define everything, right? So we're going to take a segue from the definition of success to define what purpose is. Purpose is the answer to the question, why am I here? Okay? What have I been made to accomplish? Do you guys know, how many of you feel like you're a mistake? Your being here is a mistake. Don't raise your hands. I've had some people, we do a bit of counseling and sort of talks with different people from different spaces. And I've had occasion where I've spoken to people who have said, my parents were honest with me and they said I was a mistake. They weren't planning for me. And that is the biggest lie ever told on earth. Now I know you guys are A-level, right? So we can talk about these things, okay? Do you guys know that, how many of you think you are fast runners? Raise your hands. How many of you are fast runners? No fast runners. After I share this fact with you, everyone should raise their hands. Do you guys know that you guys won a race? You guys beat 5 million other guys who were in the race with you. There were 5 million other little people who could not catch up with you because you were there. And you're like, I'm here, right? Do you guys hear that? So are there any fast people in this room? Are there any fast people in this room? If the person next to you isn't raising their hand, just tap them and say, this is what he's saying. Okay. Some people didn't do biology, right? Some people didn't do biology, all right? Now we get it. Now we get it. It takes some time for some of us, right? So here's the thing. If you beat 5 million other people who wanted to come out, that means your birth cannot, could not, will not, and can never be a mistake. And therefore, that means you being here and you still being alive till this day means that there's a job that you've been called to do, and only, get this, only you can do it. Only you can do it. Why do I say that? Do we have any twins in this school? Identical twins? No? What do we know about identical twins? They're identical, right? But do identical twins have the same fingerprints? Why though? Are they not supposed to be identical? No, right? Do you guys, I want you to look at your hands. Your hands show you your fingerprints. And your fingerprints should be the daily reminder that this is the physical evidence that I am different. There's no person on this earth, even if you had an identical twin, they don't have the same fingerprints as you. This is evidence that you have some aspect of creativity that God placed in you that He expects you to bring to the earth. So some of the problems we have are not because we've got bad leaders. Some of the problems we have is because we've got people who haven't quite yet stood up and started doing the things that they were supposed to do. Are you with me? That's the definition of entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur is anyone who figures out a creative way according to their strengths, according to their individual talents, and they use that to solve a problem or provide pleasure to other people. You with me? So the problems you see, the things you complain about, you could be complaining about them because you have been uniquely placed on this earth to solve them. And the more you keep running away from that, the worse things get. So number one, success is discovering your purpose. Your purpose is why you are here. The job you are expected to accomplish and only you can accomplish. The second aspect of success is developing yourself for that purpose. What do I mean? So discover Isn't it interesting? I didn't say create. I said discover, which means it was already put in you. There's something that you're already exceptional in, which means because you are born, success is inevitable if you allow yourself to discover who you truly are. Developing yourself. So talent alone is not sufficient to sustain you in this game called life. You need to develop yourself. So develop is what you are doing right now. Spending time in school. You are developing yourself. And the best people, I studied some of these exceptional athletes, exceptional business people, and I started realizing that, snap, these guys have figured out something that most of us don't get to do. Now, I usually ask this question to parents or business professionals. But let's say your child, whenever God blesses you to have a child, hopefully in 10, 20, 30 years from now, not anytime now, if your child came home with their report and they've got a B in biology, an F in maths, an A in geography, and a C in English, where would your focus go? It would go to? Why is it going to maths? Can I share with you something? This is why many of us struggle. Where do you think you're going to make the most progress? Fixing your weaknesses or improving your strengths? Fixing your weaknesses or improving your strengths? So why did your focus go to the F? Is that a weak strength? Can you see how we mess it up? We spend way too much time thinking about what we do badly, that we don't create enough time and resources to get better at what we do well. What exceptional people do is they find what they are good at, aka their purpose, and they spend the rest of their lives developing themselves for that. If I am good, what does it look like to become great? When I am great, what does it feel like to become exceptional? They strive to get into the top 1% of their strength zone. Are you with me? I'm not saying forget the maths. I'm saying spend more time discovering what makes you exceptional. Can I give you guys an exercise to help you do that? I want you on a piece of paper, and on your piece of paper, you guys, do you still do those T accounts for accounts? Yes. Let's do a T account. We're not doing accounting, don't worry. I hate it as well. All right? So on your T account, on the left side, which is the best side, everybody say left side is the best side. Left side is the best side. Left side is the best side. Left side. I want you to write love it. Love it. All right? All right, love it. You've written it. And then on the right side, which is the other side, I want you to write down hated it. Hated it. Right? Like, I did not enjoy doing this. And what I want to challenge you to do is that for the next couple of days, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, I want you to go through life. And whenever you do an activity, and it has to be stuff that you are doing, not stuff that's being done to you. Whenever you are doing something, and it feels like time disappears, right? Or you feel like very energized before or after. Or you get a sense of joy. You guys have things that make you happy, right? Yes. I want you to write it down. You with me? And then just at the same time, if you're doing something that when you're doing it, you can't wait for it to be over. Like you have to be asked 3, 4, 5, 10 times to do it. Because it's just that irritating. I want you to write that down as well. Are you with me? And over the next couple of weeks, what I want you to start doing is that when you see something that's consistently appearing on your loved it list, I want you to ask yourself the question, how can I get better at this thing here? Right? Are you with me? How can I get better at this thing so that I become known for this? I become known for this. Have you guys ever noticed that when people in sports, when I mention names, I don't know if these will resonate with you guys. Steph Curry, what do you know him for? What do you know him for? Lionel Messi, what do you know him for? I don't know the other guys, so that's about it for my sporting knowledge. But have you ever heard Lionel Messi doing public speaking? Have you heard of Steph Curry? Just do. Oh, you have. Oh, you must like Steph Curry. But the point I want to make is that these guys keep getting better in the thing that they are good at, and they don't spend as much time on the things that they're not so good at. Are we together? Some of these guys will realize that I could be opening my own door. I could be handling my family's security. But what do they do instead of doing that? They hire someone else to do it. Are we together? As you get older and older, may you become so attuned to what makes you special that you don't attempt to do everything. You focus on doing the things that you are good at, and you hire other people who are good at the things that you're not good at. Are you with me? The third aspect. So success is discovering your purpose. Second bit is developing yourself for that purpose. And then the last bit that ties it all together is success involves when you've discovered it, when you've developed it, you spend the rest of your life deployed in your purpose. What does deployed mean? It means you invest more than 80% of your time in doing exactly that. Lionel Messi will play soccer and he will spend 80% of his time playing soccer until he cannot play soccer anymore. Steph Curry will do the same thing. Some of us who are entrepreneurs, we will be entrepreneurs and spend 80% of our time getting better at serving other people. Are we together? If you are called to be a teacher, you must spend 80% of your time teaching and finding ways to become an even better teacher. There's this teacher called Kim Ki-hoon, and I love teachers because I am one. And this guy here is from South Korea. There's a season where South Korea was big on helping people learn English because they were not too good at English. So they started encouraging teachers to get creative in how they taught English. And if you figure out a way to help more and more students learn English, they would profile you, they'll give you opportunities. And what this guy did is he said, what can I do? So he went around the country learning from different people who are in the teaching profession because he knew he was called to be a teacher. And he knew at the same time that the teaching profession world over does not get financially rewarded as it should be. Are we together? But he said to himself, this is the thing that I believe I've been called to do. So what can I do to develop myself? Spent a lot of time learning from other teachers who are getting really good results, even in subjects that were not English. Are we together? And when he found a breakthrough, when he found something that worked, he tested it with his class and he realized easily that I found something that works, that's worked for a class of 30. That's the other thing with life. When you are chasing your goals, you need to test them with a small group of people. And when they begin to work in a small group of people, you can begin to create confidence to test it on a larger group of people. Do you guys, how many of us would like to be confident? Like me, right? Like, can you guys see how confident I am? Like, I own this, right? But I was not always this way. Are you with me? And you know how I've gotten confident? I've gotten confident because I've now discovered that confidence has a formula. Confidence comes with competence. The more I do stuff that I'm good at, the more confident I become. So when I find something I'm good at and I spend more time doing it, I become so confident that I can begin to do things that initially would scare me. But because I've got success on the behind me, I can go forth and prosper. Are you with me? Test it. He tested it. And then he realized, snap, I've got a solution that works. And he says to himself, what could I do to get my teaching method to more students than the students in my classroom? Are you with me? And he said, what if I started teaching English online? What if I started doing tutorials where I record them and then I'll have kids watch them and then I'll have certain hours in the week where they can ask me questions and I keep rotating it. And he did this, right? He went all in. And that's the other thing with goals, is when you've set it, even if it scares you, you must first believe that it's going to happen. It will work. And even when it's not working, all you have to do is keep telling yourself, when I eventually get it, it's going to work. This guy got to a point where so many students were tuning in to his tutorials that in 2024, this guy was making $1.4 million US from teaching English part-time online. Who say teachers can't make money? They did not know what they were talking about. They had not met They had not met a teacher who had found his purpose and had understood that once you deploy yourself in that purpose, you are unstoppable. There is no career on this planet that cannot make you money, that cannot derive benefits for more and more people. The thing is, you must find what you are supposed to be doing and then go full throttle on that. Are you with me? Are you with me? Do you guys want to know the 4 ways to make money? Really? Yes. I don't feel it, guys. Do you guys really want to know this? Yes. Elsie, do we share this? Yes. Really? Yes. All right, so on your journey, so when you're setting your goals, remember your goals must involve you, but they must not only be about you. They must involve you, but they must be about something that is more than you. Are you with me? Because in commerce, in order to get paid, even if you're going to be someone else's employee, you must think of yourself as an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship isn't starting a business. Entrepreneurship is a mindset. Are you with me? It's realizing that wherever I am solving problems. The only difference between me and the other guy is how many customers am I helping? When I worked as an investment banking, I had to start thinking about myself as an entrepreneur, even though I earned a salary. And I had to start thinking of the person who was my employer as my customer. And my job was, I had one customer. And my job was to make sure that my other customers were taken care of. Are we together? And the better I got at taking care of those customers, the more I was able to attract in terms of money. Are you with me? There's a season where I felt like I wasn't getting paid enough. And I told my employer, guys, you know what? I'm doing a lot of work for you. I've brought this benefit, that benefit, this benefit. And I don't feel like you guys are serving me or at least appreciating me. Did you guys see? I didn't go and ask for a raise. I showed them the value I was bringing to them first before I told them, I'm now going to leave your company. And when I said that, they came and said, look, you know what? You can't leave because you are actually, what you've shown us is actually true. And they increased the amount of money they were willing to pay. Are you with me? So being an entrepreneur is a mindset. Is you show up and you understand that I'm not here for a paycheck. Are you with me? I may want the money, but I must understand that money always follows value. The aim should never be the money. The aim should be, how do I get good at doing the things that attract the money? Do you guys get the difference? Money always follows. We don't chase money. When we chase money, it runs away. Ask all your broke friends, they'll tell you. Right? If you chase it, it will run away. But if you serve people, you will attract it. Money should be attracted to you. And you must become someone who money attracts. What kind of person is that? It's a person that shows up with the desire to give more than to get. Are you with me? The best entrepreneurs are the ones who spend a lot of time obsessing about people's problems to the point where it feels like I know your problem more than you know your problem. Are you with me? How many of you consider yourselves good listeners? By show of hands. How many of you are good at listening? Who told you you're good at listening? Your friends, right? And how do they know you're good at listening? Probably it's because you are able to repeat what they've said, right? Probably because you then ask them a bit later and say, oh, by the way, the stuff you were telling me about, how did it go? You with me? That is an incredible entrepreneurial trait. The better you become at listening. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth because he wants us to spend more time listening than we do talking. You with me? So you become obsessed with other people's needs. You become a good listener. The third thing is you become an excellent communicator. The number one most sought after skill at this moment, according to a LinkedIn report on the future of work, is communication skills. With AI making the rounds, communication still remains the key skill. And what is communication? That is the ability to say things to other people in a way that they want to listen to you, in a way that they'll understand you and want to do business with you. The better you become at honing your skill of communication, the easier it is going to be for you to build out a career of your dreams. How many of you have been to the doctor before? Have you ever asked yourself how you picked your doctor? Do you guys know how did you get to your doctor? Why are you still using that doctor? You've never thought about it, right? It's not because they were the first, they got a first class degree, right? Have you ever seen your doctor's degree in their office? No, right? Do you know why we pick some of our doctors? It's because of how they relate with their patients. Where someone says, you know what, what's your name, brother? Tinos. You need to go and see Tinos, man. That's my doctor. He's so nice. He really listens to what I'm saying. And he always explains things well. It's your ability to communicate that's going to open doors for you. So in any profession you're in, it's got very little to do with the grades. But everything to do with, are you going to be able to communicate in a way that when you say what you do to me, I understand it immediately. And I feel like, man, take me now. I'm ready, right? All right, you with me? The other aspect is you're going to have to become incredibly optimistic. You're going to need to become incredibly optimistic. If you live in Zimbabwe, optimism is a must, otherwise you'll die here. Right? I don't even have to talk to you about the problems. All I need to do is look out the window and we can already see that there's something that's not there. Are you with me? I'm not literally look out the window. We've got nothing missing here. All right? You have to become incredibly optimistic. I'm telling you guys, if complaining made money, Zimbabweans would be billionaires. But since it's not making us money, am I lying? But is it making us money, guys? Is it making us depressed, though? Right? Is it making other people get so tired of living that they feel like dying is better? Right? Is that beneficial to anyone? So I said to myself, if I can't make money from complaining, I would rather do the other thing, right? So as I set my goals, I always set my goals expecting to win. And when things don't work my way, I'm asking myself, what am I supposed to learn here so I can get to where I need to get to? Are you with me? Optimism is the ability to ask empowering questions. If you're going to set goals and set goals that are going to scare you, set goals that are going to change the trajectory of what your family's gone through, you have to get to a point where you ask empowering questions that are based on an optimistic background. And that is the question of how can I make this business work? Right? How can I get into this team? How can I make this teacher like me? How can I get the grade that I need? Not, oh, I'm failing. No. It must always be from a place of, I am down, but how can I go up? Are you with me? And how do we build this optimism? Have you guys ever heard of what they call gratitude journals? Gratitude journals. Yes. All right, we need to be wrapping up here. All right, the best way to build optimism, if you don't have it, is to every day, preferably write it down. Writing stuff down is amazing. I know we've got phones. I love a good phone here and there. But there's something amazing about writing stuff down on a piece of paper with a pen that makes your mind believe that it can be done. And that gives you, it triggers something in your mind. And there's this exercise of what we call gratitude journaling. If you want to build optimism, this is going to be the easiest way to build that. And that is each morning or each evening or each day, finding 3 to 5 things that you can be grateful for. And get this, waking up in the morning and not being dead is something to be grateful for. Are you with me? Find 3 to 5 things every single day to write down and say, I'm thankful for this. And then the second bit is, ask yourself each day, how many people did I say thank you to? And write down their names. I say thank you to this. I expressed gratitude to this particular person. I am telling you, when I started doing some of these things, when we were now facing battles in business, when the currency changed and it felt like we'd lost everything in the business, just remembering the good things that I had every single day allowed me to continue to pursue other ventures. I've had to change the way we do business so many times we've lost count. But here's the thing, we are still in business. We are still growing. I'm still getting into spaces where I'm meeting international sports personalities and serving them. Because guess what? I won't lose. I can't lose. Even when I'm down, it's halftime. Like If you're feeling like you're not getting what you need to get, call it halftime. Because I am going to win. And the more you allow yourself to do that, the more you allow yourself to do that, anything you put your mind to, you are unstoppable. Are you with me? So you must see yourself as someone who's successful. Are we together? Someone who's successful is someone who does what they were made to do on this earth. If that results in you making a lot of money, great. If that results in you being very popular, even better. If that allows you to drive the fanciest cars, brilliant. But I want you to understand this. The house, the cars, the popularity, those are optional extras. True fulfillment is going to come when you do what you are called to do on this earth. And you set goals that are aligned with what, and here's the thing, the goals you set must always be aligned with the things that you do very well. Are you with me? So please make sure you do that loved it and loathed it exercise. And hopefully, if our paths cross again, which I hope they will, we can begin to help you develop it even more. Because we've built assessments that help people fast track their arrival to their strengths and help them understand how they can turn their strengths into more success than they ever imagined before. Okay? So I think I've gone for a bit and I'll stop here. But thank you for your time. I hope this helped. I had fun.